Hello and welcome to lesson 5.5. Today we are going to talk about factoring expressions. Take a moment and try and solve this problem here. Tasha is packing gift bags that include the same item. She has 72 glow sticks, 36 markers, and 24 bottles of bubbles. Tasha believes that she can pack no more than 6 bags using all of her supplies. Do you agree or disagree? Try it now. All right. Well, here's one example of what they came up with. So the biggest thing here is that you have to find the greatest common factor. So you have to find the greatest common factor of all three of these numbers, which is what they did right here. Remember, in order to find the greatest common factor, you can do this using a list, and you have to figure out what two numbers multiply together to give you that particular number. So, greatest common factor means what numbers multiply to get the number. I always looked at this using the rainbow method. The rainbow method would be listing out the numbers. So for example, on this 24, in order to find the factors, I would list out in a rainbow. So I know 1 times 24. I know 2 times 12. I know 3 times 8. I know 4 times 6. So these are all the factors of 24. So then what they had to do was they had to go through and find the greatest common factor, which one matched on all of them, which happens to be 12. All right, so here's example number 1. Kiana painted a rectangular wall blue to start an ocean mural. She used 3 cans of paint, each of which covered X square meters, and a different size can that covered 12 square meters. What are the possible length and height dimensions of Kiana's mural? So the expression that they have is 3x plus 12. How come they have 3x plus 12? Well, the reason they have 3x plus 12 is because they are taking the height times the width, or the length in this case. They are taking height times length. So they know that from the problem, she uses 3 cans of paint. So go back and highlight or underline or circle the important parts. It covers X square feet, and then you know that can cover 12 square meters. So what are the possible lengths and widths? So when you do this, you can factor an expression or take a number out. In this example, they show you a bar diagram right here, and you can use this area model to represent the mural. So you know you're taking, you have 3x plus 12. So in the bars, you have 3x plus 12. So 3x, a coefficient in a variable, means multiplication. Therefore, they pull the 3 out and they pull the x out. Well, if they pull the 3 out, in order to get this 12, they know they have to multiply 3 times 4, which gives them 12. So the same thing is done over here using the distributive property. So the easiest way for me to explain this to you is if you have 3x plus 12, I want you to look at the two numbers you have and think, what is the largest number that I can divide both of those by that is the same? Well, I know I can divide 3 by itself, 3, and I know I can divide 12 by 3. Well, when I divide by 3, that means I'm taking the 3 and putting it outside of the parentheses. Whatever the number you divide by, you put it outside the parentheses. So what are you left with? Well, 3 divided by 3 is 1. So you're left with 1x plus 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, remember you do not need to write this 1 in front of the x. So what are you left with? 3 parentheses x plus 4. That is indeed the expression factored. So the possible dimensions of the mural could be 3 tall by x plus 4 long. Try this one on your own. So we have 4x plus 20. Pause the video and try it. That's right. So here's what I would do. I would look at 4x plus 20. If you choose to do this using the area model, go for it. I am going to do this by division. So I look at these two numbers and I know 4 can be divided by 4 and 20 can be divided by 4. So the number I divide by goes outside of my parentheses. 4 divided by 4 is 1, or just x. 20 divided by 4 is 5. Therefore, you should have come up with 4 parentheses x plus 5. Factoring 3-term expressions is much the same. So you can list out all the factor pairs of each number, and then clearly you know whatever number, the largest number that all 3 of them have in common is going to be the number that you put outside of the parentheses. But that can be a challenge for some people. So I go back to the original way that I prefer to do it, and I look at all 3 of these numbers that I have. And I ask myself, what number can I evenly divide every single one of these by? Well, I know that I can divide every single one of these numbers by 6. Okay, you want to think of the largest number you can divide by. So when I do that, I know the number I'm putting outside my parentheses is 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1x, or just x, minus, don't forget to write the proper sign in. Bring your sign down the exact way it's written in your problem. 18 divided by 6 is 3. 12 divided by 6 is indeed 2y. And that's it. That's exactly what you have to do to factor an expression. That concludes our lesson for today.